Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you are finding it very informative and useful for your astrological journey. And maybe you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below, or you can reach out to contact me personally. You've got the details in the YouTube channel of mine. Feel free to reach out for whatever queries or uh, suggestions that you may have. Anything is welcome. So it is 2 days after Christmas here in Melbourne, Australia. It's supposed to be summer, supposed to be cold, but for some reason the weather decided to go southwards. So it is about 12 degrees right now. So you can see I'm wearing double layer, got a sweater on. So that aside, I guess I'm having a good time. Hope you are as well. Looking forward to the new year. So, at the outset, I think one of the first few videos I wanted to put was to give you guys an understanding of my personal view about why Vedic astrology actually works. And the accuracy rate is quite high when you look at probability distribution of guessing between the Western astrological system, which is based on the solar or the sun. The sun system is right in the middle of the Western astrological or constellation system, or we we say zodiac system, versus that of the Indian Vedic system. We basically use the moon as the center of our understanding. So Western is the sun, Eastern or the Vedic system, we use the moon. And the reason for the moon is the breaking down of the 12 bhava that you have in, well, basically, I use the South Indian chart for my Rasi, Lagna, Navamsa chart. So I've got 12 boxes which are categorized in typically a square of 12 boxes, and you know that one of it has to be house number 1, which is the Lagna, and then it goes on to the second one. So it goes in a clockwise fashion. Whichever your first house is can be Rishabham, Tulam, Magaram, what have you. Then in subsequent clockwise, subsequent bhavas or the houses becomes 2, 3, 4, goes up to 12 as the end. So number 1 is you as the head. Then you're going down to all your other body parts. Number 12 is ideally your feet at the lower end. That's one way of looking at the houses, the 12 houses, as in the physical body structure. There are other means and methodologies that we will look at as we go along the videos. So 27 stars that the moon, because I have said that the moon is at the centerpiece of the Vedic astrology or the Vedic astrological system. So why does Vedic astrology work? Why is the accuracy quite high up in the charts? Because of the 27 stars that we have in the Vedic astrological system. Well, don't get me wrong, there is also stars or stellar units in the Western system and different to that of the Vedic system, different constellation. Like if you you guys would have most likely heard of Orion's belt. So that is the constellation Orion, with the Alpha and Beta Orionis as the stars for that Western system. We have got a Vedic system. We've got different star systems, stellar systems that we use. For example, in Ashwini, right up to Revati, 27 stars. So Ashwini is the first star. It's in Aries or Mesham in Tamil. Okay, so I would be jumping off terminologies and epaulets between Tamil and English. So I would use them interchangeably. Feel free to leave any comments if you do not understand some parts of it. Ashwini being the first in Aries. In the Kala Chakram system, Aries is the first house, Pisces is the last house, the 12 houses. But remember, this is the structure, the basis of starting. The understanding of Vedic astrology, you need to know the basics. Like, for example, if you're playing chess, right, you kind of understand you've got 64 boxes, dark and light shades, and there is a specific placement of the chessboard between yourself and the opponent. So if you chose white pieces, there is a certain way, like on your lower left side, that would be, I believe that's a dark shade box. On your lower right, if you are on the white side of it, lower right would be white. So you've got 8 boxes as your higher pieces are placed there. The second one would be your pawns or the soldiers, the foot soldiers, 8 of those. And they've got a specific color that you follow. So after that, as you play your game of chess, as you're moving along, pieces get positioned in different ways, different manners. So the game plan changes, your strategy changes, the end game, evidently, that also changes. That's why they said that chess, the game of chess is as many stars as there in the universe. So there is the number of possible chess games out there. But Vedic astrology, the number of possible chess games, you just have to multiply that, maybe about 10 million more possible combinations of the 9 planets that you have in your chart. Remember, we've got the 9 planets, Suryan, Chandran, Savai, Buddhan, Vyalan or Guru, Sani, Rahu, Kedu. And yeah, I think I mentioned Chandran, which is the moon, of course. The Earth doesn't naturally come as one of the planets. We are on the Earth as living beings, and our destinies are being written, so-called, by these 9 planets. Actually, 7 planets. The other 2 are just shadows or illusionary points. Rahu, Ketu. Oh, I've got a special video coming up on that. I would be uploading that into YouTube in about a day or so. So quite an extensive one on Rahu, Ketu, and in many ways that is the most critical in our chart. That is the one that dictates our life in a very profound way. But that aside, 27 stars, like I said, starts from Aries, goes all the way. So you've got Mesham, Rishabham, and you go on till you come to the end, Dhanasu, Magaram, Kumbham, ends at Meenam, and the last star in Meenam is Revati. Ashwini is a star which is Beta and Gamma Arietis, which is Aries. That's what we use in the Vedic system. So if you've got others, 27 of those stars, so if you've got Arietis, and then you go on to the next few star systems, you've got Bharani, right? So you know that Ashwini is owned by Kedu, is the significator or the lordship over Ashwini as a star. Goes on to Revati at the end, which is owned by Mercury, Buddhan. And that star, Revati star, is in the Latin terminologies, we call it Zeta Piscium, which is Pisces, right? So Pisces is Meenam in English. Yes, so these 27 stars have been so chosen by our forefathers who have been meditating upon the science and art of Vedic astrology. I'm talking about the ancient sages and rishis. So they meditated upon them. So the most prominent of them is Parasarar. Yes, you all would have heard of the Parasarar Horasastra, which is the most profound work done on Vedic astrology. It's survived thousands of years. We astrologers use that as our diktat, as our go-to handbook. So 27 stars have been chosen. Why? Why this 27? These 27 are the ones that actually dictate what happens to us, not the 9 planets. Stepping back a bit, the 9 planets are like hands of a clock, right? The hands of a clock don't really push you to go and have breakfast or to meet your friend or to go to work at 9 a.m. It is just an indicator. The clock indicates whether you want to do that task or not. It's solely up to you. I mean, we're not talking about free will and all that stuff in the astrological system. In Vedic astrology, we can accurately ascribe to what kind of energy has been open to you at that specific time. So it's kind of like the floodgates are open, and it's sort of crushing onto you, cruising down onto your spine. And so these are the scientific ideas behind it. So it goes through to your spine. So suddenly you'd feel like doing something that before that specific time happened, before the change of energies, which is actually coming down from these 27 stars. So I'm just jumping many topics. So why this 27 stars? These 27 stars are roughly equal distance from the Earth to them. So what you can imagine, the Earth is just cruising around in its orbit around the sun, and the sun around the solar system and around the universe, Milky Way. You've got the superclusters, Virgo superclusters and all that. These 27 stars from the Earth, roughly same distance. So you've got one here, so you've got Revati as a star, you've got Chittire, you've got Mirgashirsham. So they've got roughly equal distance around the system, the solar or the stellar system, roughly 65 to 77 light years away. So they kind of like bounce around that distance. So this 27 stars. So how does that actually work out with us? Why do we have a destiny tied to those stars? Well, basically we are star stuff. We are stardust. That is what our rishis and sages of those yesteryears have been expounding. They've been telling us that that's the truth. These days, a lot of universities and think tanks, the Museum of Natural History, if you go to their website, the UK Museum of Natural History in the UK, you go to their website. I'm also going to give a link down there in my video. You go to their website, you have a look, they say scientifically proven from the supernovas. We have gone through many different supernovas. So basically, if you break down our structure from our eyes and teeth and what have you, skin cells and all that. So if you look at it, traces of the star signature is there. What does that mean? Basically, we are stardust. I mean, we have been born into this universe. We are ingredients used from this universe. What did you have? What can you be made out of? Basically, what's been lying around for billions of years. 16 billion years of cosmic history that we've been around. So what do you think we are made out of? Whatever has been lying around, stars. So what they have been telling us, the rishis and sages of old, right, is basically we are stardust. 27 of that stars, as per the Vedic system, is what most critically is what we are composed of, the ingredients of these 27 stars. is what is cruising through our veins. So at different times of our lives, different star systems, come to grab hold of our lives and give out that kind of energy. For example, Mirga Shirsham, the significator or the lordship is Savai or Mars. And we know Mars is a red planet. We have heard things like men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So it's a masculine energy. You've got things like positive, kinetic energy, positive movement, not being stagnant, not being stationary, always on the move, as in masculine energy, anger. Even at some instances, we even speak about lust, masculine energy, lust, anger, quickness. And the other opposite of it, you've got sunny Saturn, which has got nothing to do with quickness. Sunny wants you to slow down. It is the immobilizing planet. And so you would have heard of Sanishchara. Not Saniswaran. Sani is not an Iswaran. He is actually the, if you look at the Hindi and the Sanskrit terms, Sanishchara is the slow moving one. Because out of the 9 planets, well, 7 planets, 2 illusionary points, 7 planets, Saturn is the last one to get the light of the sun. And so on the surface of Saturn, you do get sunrise, sunsets at very, very minimal level. So planets beyond Saturn, like Neptune, Pluto, you do not have sunrise, sunset. So Saturn takes about 29.5 years to make a complete orbit around the sun. So he is slow moving. So he is also part of the sunrise, sunset system. So he is part of the club, so to speak. And he also has a role to play in the Vedic astrological system. So what do the 27 stars, which actually has got we are actually composed of them. So 27 stars. So how does the energy come to us? Well, they bounce off the moon. They come from that 77 light years away, between 65 to 77. So they come all the way to our solar system, bounce off from that specific planet who's got the lordship. Like I said, Revati is Mercury or Buddha. So from the planet, from the star system Revati, or the Pisceum, Zeta Pisceum, kind of glides across the space, bounces off Mercury or Buddha. Part of it has a rebounding effect with the moon. It comes back to us because the moon is the one who jumps with the 27 stars. You would have heard the stories about the moon and his favorite being Rohini. 27 wives. Sandran or Chandra, the moon, has got 27 wives. His favorite is Rohini. Why? In the Vedic sense, the 27 wives, obviously it's a story, but in the Vedic sense, the moon sort of exalts. So the exaltation point is behind the star of Rohini, right? So Rohini, I think the star behind that is Aldebaran, right? So if you're curious, just go and have a look. So our rishis and sages have really studied distance-wise, at least, and got it accurate to say that this 27 stars, you can place them almost in a perfect circle, distance-wise, and they sort of dictate what we are going to experience in our lives. So why Vedic astrology works, coming back to the start of it, it works because we are stardust. We are composed of the 27 stars. They come and go at different dasa, bhukti, antaram, which are different period and sub-period of our lives, and they grant us different experiences, right? So for example, if you have a sunny period, whether you're going through a Sani Dasa, Bhukti, or Yaldra Sani, Ashtama Sani, or Sade Sati, as in the north, they call the 7.5 year Saturn period. Saturn, if you're going through a Saturn period, you are going to experience a lot of challenges to getting something done, because if you, amongst other things, Sunny or Saturn represents a servant. And what does the servant do? He experiences the most amount of work in a premise or in a space. And Sunny gives that kind of an energy to you. And Sunny is also the significator of your past karma, right? So he brings out the from his bag of goodies, so to speak, your past karma, and he just gives it out to you as he matures in everyone's chart. So I'm going to talk about maturity of planetary system in everyone's chart. So yeah, so to understand Vedic astrology is going to take you all a lot of effort to understand, quite a bit of time you're going to spend to getting there, but it's worth it. It's worth to know it. Once you get a hang of it and when you're starting your forecasting of other people's charts, you have your methodology being built, being refined over time, and then you see that the accuracy improves, and it is a worthwhile pursuit to see that you can actually read a person's, not a chart, a person's experiences of the past, and you can predict with incredible accuracy, I would say, about what's going to happen in the future for that person. And yes, so that is why Vedic astrology works. Stardust is what we are. Those stars who have gone through several clusters of supernova, which is birth and death, out there in space, 27 of those are still controlling us. And they are bouncing, their energies is bouncing off the 9 planets in our solar system, the 9 planets in our Vedic system, rather. And bouncing off from there, and it's being channeled through our spine, and we get a thought or an action or circumstances as we emit that kind of energy outward to our surroundings, to other people, to friends, relatives, family members, and it vibrates. Situations change, so-called adapts to that particular star's energy. And that is how we, as astrologers, we ascertain what is happening to a native or a person whose chart you are reading. So I hope that was a bit helpful. I mean, again, I'm just touching very lightly, surface level. If you'd like to know more, please reach out to me. Also, again, I'm saying that I'm conducting virtual classes. I've got a WhatsApp group. If you want to be part of that, please let me know. So I'm happy to discuss further. So I wish you all a very good year that is coming. May it be more gentler with you. May you get what you want. May you achieve all your success. God bless. Thank you.